Hi guys, I just did a video where I replaced this toy grade receiver with another one in one of my radio controlled cars, just as a demonstration of how easy it is to swap the receivers. And I put this one in the bin. There was a problem with it. It seemed a bit intermittent picking up radio signals anyway. But I've been and taken it back out of the bin because I'm just editing that video. And there was a few things I couldn't actually see clearly on here, like the labeling of the solder points. So I thought I would use my microscope and record what I'm looking at. So I'll edit this so that the microscope feed is the main picture, and I'll put this camera, what is it? This is my phone that I'm videoing with. I'll put that up in the corner somewhere so we can see what I'm pointing at while I'm talking. So, first thing we'll look at is the numbers on the receiver, if we can get into focus. Okay, it's an RX2, which most of the old toy grade receivers are, or that's the main chip on them, RX2, and the one in the transmitter is TX2 for transmit. I couldn't tell you what that logo indicates as to which manufacturer it is. Anyway, so it's an RX2. And then, what have we got there? Try and get back into focus. Okay, that'll be the manufacturer's, the circuit board manufacturer's code. There's a few components missing, and I would guess that's when they want to change it from 27 megahertz to 40 megahertz or 49 megahertz. That's what those are. There's a slight dark mark through the 40 because this one's a 40 megahertz receiver. So I would guess that's probably what the missing components are when you want to change it to a different frequency. Now that's something I noticed. That inductor just there, right where my thumb is, that one links to the antenna. But if we flip the board over and keep it in focus, it's got a solder bridge straight across the bottom of it. So that inductor is actually not in circuit. I would guess that's for when you have different length aerials, antennas, to match it. There's a big blob of solder on that. Yeah, not quite sure what's going on there. I don't think I put that blob of solder on there at any time in the past. But that looks like that's probably where the antenna was attached at some time. We'll leave the bottom for now. We'll carry on the top. That's a trimmable pot for adjusting the frequency response with the aerial, I think. And they seal that with wax so you don't fiddle around with it. What I really wanted to see, well, we've got B minus and B plus there, which is your battery feed. But what I really wanted to see was those two squares there. I couldn't make out what was written on them, and it's still not clear, but I know what it is because I've looked at the other two squares there, and I can make out that that's M1 minus and M1 plus. So that's motor 1 minus and plus. And I can now work out that that's what that is. That's M2 minus and plus. So that's for the one's the drive motor and the other's the steering motor. I don't think there's much else that we need to know. Those transistors there, B772, B772, D882, D882, that'll be the H bridge. Oh, I forgot what I was talking about just then. Yeah, that'll be the H bridge for driving that motor, M1, and then those, just out of focus again now. Right, that one right where my fingernail is, thumbnail is, B772, and that one and that one, and that one will be the H bridge for motor 2. H bridge is how the chip controls the direction of the motors. Sends an output one way and the motors drive one way, sends an output the other way and the motors drive the opposite way. I have done a video using one of these RX2 chips and TX2 chips wired up to the demonstration circuit that you get on the data sheets. So I'll put a link in the video description to that so you can see how you can rig them up. Although I don't suppose many people are interested nowadays, you'd use an Arduino or something and do it that way. How are we doing? Have we been talking for long enough? Oh yes. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to look at was the M1 minus, M1 plus, M2 minus, M2 plus, the motor feeds, and the B minus and B plus for the battery. But I did think that was interesting, the inductor there being bypassed. Very tempted to put this back together again, take that solder blob out and see if we can get it to work. Yeah, that'll do for now. I don't think there's anything to be learnt from just looking at the components underneath, even if I got them in focus. Yeah. Because I'm not trying to replicate the circuit board or anything, I'm just looking at what's written on it. And trying to keep it in focus. Right, that'll do, I think. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment so I know how I'm doing. And somewhere up here there'll be some links to related playlists. Thanks again.